Hello there, and welcome to another week. We're going to keep looking at percentages this week and solving them with proportions. Now, I'm going to talk about one of my personal method that I think is good for solving these problems. Of course, just like many problems, there are other ways to do this. A lot of those other ways, though, depend on the numbers being quote-unquote nice, that they work out nicely, into something like 25%, 20%, 10%. And the nice thing about this method that I'm going to show you here is that it works for any numbers. So if you want to grab your notes, find the page on Calculate with Percentages of Increase and Decrease, and we're going to get started. So with percentages of increase and decrease, what you're looking for is going to be usually this percentage here. And what this percentage here is going to be your new percent. When we're looking at proportions, you'll see all of these go in with new. And then when asked, okay, well, what was the increase or decrease? You're going to have just the additional step once you find that new percentage of what is the difference with 100%. Because the change is equal to a difference problem. If I want to know what's the change between 10 and 12, oh, it's 2, which would be the difference of 10 and 12. So difference, again, with 100% is what we're going to be looking for in a lot of these problems. So number 1, find the percent increase or decrease from 20 to 24. So we want to look at this problem and say, okay, what was the old number and what's the new? So if we're going from 20, that means that this must be the old value, which means that it is equal to the total, or 100%. And then 24 then is our new amount, and that's equal to X%. So if I'm setting up my proportion here, X% is equal to 24, and my 100% is equal to 20. I could express it like this. I can also just turn it into a proportion very easily, like so. You can cross multiply at this point, but I might simplify a little bit. I'm going to drop the percents, and this fractions I will each simplify by 4. And so I get X over 100 is equal to 6 over 5. And I can use cross multiplication in this, or I can use a common denominator. In this case, I'm going to use a common denominator, just to remind us all of that strategy. I'm going to multiply each of these by 20. And then I end up with 100 on the bottom and the top. And if you remember, if it has the same denominator in an equation, you can cancel out by multiplying by 100 on each side. So then I get X is equal to, not 80, 120%. So what that means is that 24 is 125% of 20. Now remember, it's asking for the percent increase and decrease. So that means that I need to find the difference between that and 100. So I'm just going to subtract 100% because that's what it means to have a difference. So it's a 20%, and since it's positive 20%, that means that it is an increase. So going from 20 to 24 is a 20% increase. Now, you might also have a word problem. The heart rate of a hibernating animal decreases from 80 beats per minute to just 4. What is the percent decrease? So again, I'm going to look for 80. This is the old number. So that means that's our 100%. And then 4 is what's happening now, which means that's our X%. So X% is equal to 4, and 100% is equal to 80, and we've got our proportion. Once again, I am going to simplify, and I get X over 100 is equal to 1 over 20. This one I think I'll cross multiply, so we practice both strategies. And I end up with 20x is, forgot the x. 20x is equal to 100 times 1. Divide both sides by 20. And I end up with x is equal to 100 over 20, which I can simplify 10 over 2 into 5. Now, what you can imagine is, once again, we're looking for the percent change. So what I'm going to do is subtract 100%. So 5 minus 100 is negative, and that's how we know it's a percent decrease, because we're going down, 95%. Like so. So we're going down 95% in number 2. Now, for some of these problems, you're not going to be finding the x, you'll be finding one of the different values. A furniture store owner receives a shipment of couches, and each of them costs $366. They sell the couches for a 33.33% markup. What is the retail price of each couch? Now, markup is a word that is used in retail, in stores, to mean percent increase. So if someone says something's a markup, that's an increase in price. If something is a discount, that is a decrease in price, or a sale. So in this case, we know what the percent markup is. So what this means is that the difference between 100 and 33, and the new price is 33.33%. So for x, this is the tricky thing. X is the percent, so it's going to be 100 plus 33.33% over 100%. Because what this is the original 100 plus the increase. So we're adding for our increase here. And the new price is what we don't know. And the old price is $366. Now, what I'm going to do here is I am going to say, maybe, hopefully remember, is that 33.33 is 1/3. So if I write these instead of as percentages, but as fractions, this is 1 plus 1/3 over 1 is equal to x over 366. Now, we don't usually write divide by 1, so we can drop that. And 1 1/3, I'm going to be real sneaky here, is 4/3. And then x over 366. So again, all I'm doing here is change into fraction, like we did last week. And while we could do this with these large numbers and mixed numbers, this is one of the reasons that we convert between fractions and decimals and percentages, is because sometimes different forms are just easier than others. So 100% plus 33.33 over 100% is 1 plus 1/3 over 1, which just becomes 4/3. To finish solving this problem, I am going to multiply each side by 360, because we have 360 in the numerator, and then 366, in the denominator. I'm going to be sneaky again and say 4 times 366 over 3 is equal to x. And this number is very easy to divide by 3, so I'm going to do that first instead of multiplying. And I get 1 for the 3, and then 2, 2. So 366 divided by 3 is 122. So that way x is 4 times 122, which is $488 is the marked up increased price in the couch. Let me know if you have a question about anything involving percent increase and decrease, and I'm happy to help you. I would love to hear from you on Zoom, in the comments, or nominate a problem you're stuck on in the form that's attached, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.